The fifth Sunday in Ordinary Time, 8th of February 2026. The readings for this fifth Sunday in Ordinary Time teach us about the practicality and demands of God's Word, and with the human person as the reference point for the word's realization. The poor are placed as the measure of this practice. The prophet Isaiah warns about the centrality of the poor as a preference for justice before God. One could say that God is found in the poor. Share your bread with the hungry. Welcome the homeless poor into your house. Clothe the naked. When you see them along the same lines, we see that the Torah repeatedly commands care for the poor. Do not hold in your heart or shut your hand against your poor brother. When you reap the harvest, you shall leave some for the fool and the foreigner. Whoever oppresses the poor insults the maker, but whoever is kind to the needy honors him. Whoever is kind to the poor lends to the Lord. These requirements laws create a social system of protection, guaranteeing food and dignity to those in need. And understanding that honor feels these requirements is to be just and to do justice. Tzedakah. In Judaism, charity is called tzedakah, which literally means justice, not just kindness. In this sense, we understand what Paul teaches in this letter, 1 Corinthians chapter 13. And in the end, he concludes, the greatest of all virtues is charity. Jewish tradition understands this to mean that whoever ignores the poor is as if they were ignoring the divine presence. This idea is taught in Talmud, when it says whoever closes their eyes to charity is as they practice idolatry. Sarat Obed. Presenting what he asks to the Israelites now to obey him and to keep his covenant, when Moses reports this to the people, they respond, all that the Lord has spoken, we will do. Moses then delivers this first response to the Lord. And the second phase of the revelation occurs. The Lord informs Moses that he will come to you. In Hebrew singular, in the thick cloud, the people will hear what God says to Moses, so as to invoke their trust in him. Rashi comments on this statement from the Talmud saying, it is as they practice idolatry, for they deny the Holy One, blessed be He, since they do not believe that God observes them and that He gave them this word to distribute it to the poor. Today's Gospel places two very significant symbols in Jesus' mouth, symbols that remain relevant to the biblical tradition and that continue to be relevant to the Judeo-Christian tradition, salt and light. The first image is salt, that is a presence that gives a sense of stability, that gives meaning to the word. Or, as Paul says, let your speech always be gracious, seasoned with salt. In this case, salt symbolizes sweetness, moral example, and positive influence in the world. Or as Mark teaches, have a salt in yourselves. He wants to teach that salt symbolizes preserving true faith and preventing moral corruption. However, since we must always consider all the scriptures that preceded the writings of the New Testament, the source from which is drew the teachings that follow, we read in Leviticus that you shall not omit the salt of the covenant of your God from all your offerings. What does the salt of the covenant mentioned in this verse mean? The salt of the covenant refers to the bond between God and Israel. Rashi explained that just as salt has preserved food from spoilage, the covenant with God endures forever. This concept originates from the time when God made a covenant of salt with King David and his descendants, symbolizing permanence. The second image from today's gospel is light. You are the light of the world. Just as salt must be seen, so must light, or rather it means that God must be seen and known. We know that in the Torah, the first thing God creates is light. And God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. This shows that light represents all the life and the beginning of everything. Light also symbolizes divine presence, truth, and protection. The Lord is my light and my salvation. But we learn that the Torah is compared to light. The commandment is a lamp and the Torah is a light. That is, the Torah illuminates the moral and spiritual path of the person. The second image from today's gospel is light. You are the light of the world. Just as salt must be seen, so must light, or rather, it means that God must be seen and known. We know that in the Torah, the first thing God creates is light. And God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. This shows that light represents all the life and the beginning of everything. Light also symbolizes divine presence, truth, and protection. The Lord is my light and my salvation. But we learn that the Torah is compared to light. The commandments is a lamp, and the Torah is a light. That is, the Torah illuminates the moral and spiritual fact of the person. When Jesus in today's reading affirms, "You are the light of the world," he is calling his followers to be bearers of God's presence in their way, of being before the world. However, this mission is understood in the sense of what Isaiah said at the beginning: "Share your bread with the hungry, welcome the homeless poor into your house, clothe the naked when you see them." In fact, the entire Sermon on the Mount of Matthew 5 to 7, which before being a beautiful poem, the image given to be salt and light in the world, are deeply connected with the text of Isaiah, with the teachings of the Jewish tradition. As we saw before, Jesus himself, it concludes his maxim in Matthew 25, verse 35, the following, saying, "For I was hungry and you gave me food, I was thirsty, and you gave me drink, I was a stranger in you. I welcome, I was naked and you clothed me. I was sick and you visited me. I was in prison and you saw the wall." How to teach the Talmud cited above. Whoever clothes their eyes to charity as if they practice authority. This is the doing tzedakah, starting with the poor. Otherwise, comparing these words will be sold without flavor and a light that does not shine.